168-foot tall water slide. The thing was so huge that you had to climb up 264 steps just to make it to the top. It was soon certified as being the world's tallest water slide in the Guinness World Records. The problem is, the slide was designed in part by the co-owners of the Schlitterbahn, Wayne Henry and John Schuley, neither of which had any technical skills relevant to either creating rides or making sure they were built in a safe way. The park's director of operations, Tyler Austin Miles, did what he could to help in building the slide as well. In this ride, park patrons would ride together in a multi-person raft. Given that each raft had to have a certain number of people to disperse the weight between them, many people would end up getting put into a raft with people they didn't know. One day in August of 2016, a man named Scott Schwab, who served as a member of the Kansas House of Representatives, heard some interesting news. On the 7th, the park would be holding what they called Elected Officials Day. On that day, people like Scott, along with their families, would get to go to the park for free, a good time and safely making his way down to the bottom of the slide. He walked over to the side of the ride and looked up so that he could see his brother coming down. Caleb was a bit nervous about going, but his father, Scott, told him, "Look at me, brothers stick together." Caleb responded with, "I know, Dad." That would be the last time that Scott would speak to his son ever again. Caleb entered into the front of the next raft. Behind him sat two sisters. Now they were all ready to take the plunge. As they took off down the slide, they started hitting speeds of about 70 miles per hour. One problem with this ride was that the rafts would often go airborne for a second, causing the riders to come slamming back down onto the slide. This time it would be much more intense than usual. About halfway down the slide, the raft went airborne once again, but this time the three of them went much higher than intended. Over that section of the slide was a net with arch-shaped metal bars holding it up. Caleb was launched upwards into the netting. One of the metal poles struck him directly in the neck, sending his head and his body flying in two different directions.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
The two other women were injured as well, suffering multiple fractures to their faces. To his horror, Caleb's younger brother, Nathan, had seen the whole thing happen.
And then they going, oh, then his brother seen it? That's fucked up, I ain't gonna lie. Then he going like 70 miles per hour, gang. These are metal wires. Like, your body getting split in half. But your skin not like no metal, gang. Your shit getting split.
He took off running towards his mom, frantically screaming.
Bro.
He flew from the viaduct.